One. Welcome to Softcast. We like it, the Man United edition, and today we'll talk about the Week 4 Premier League game in England. Match between Man United and Southampton. United getting a second win back-to-back after two defeats. Now we've got 2 wins. And Chelsea playing against Leicester after catastrophe against Leeds United last week. Joining me today from UK is Vim and Princess Sienna. Frank, welcome to the show.
How you doing, guys?
What's going on?
And representing Chelsea is Rodrigo from Houston. Rodrigo, welcome on.
Welcome. I like that you, since we lost last week 3-0 to you call it catastrophe, but then you forget that the week before that you guys got blown out 4-0 by Brentford. I don't hear the word catastrophe. That's a disaster. That's a disaster. So I just want to mention that. Sorry.
It's okay, mate. It's okay. Yeah, no, we were destroyed. That ain't a mission. But are you ready? Now, let me start with Rodrigo. Rodrigo, yes, last week you got let me use the word astronomically decapitated, decimated by Leeds United. Is that better? And this week you have come back, but one of the defenders nearly turned it around again. But you were able to beat Leicester, who are literally struggling to get anything going this season. How do you feel with 3 points today at home?
Well, it goes back to some of the things we talked about the last couple of weeks, even before the season started. This team has got work to do. There's some holes to be plugged up, and like last week, mistakes turn their ugly head again, and we complicate ourselves. You got the coach in the stands because of the stupidity he did a couple of weeks back ago against Tottenham. So he really can't say much if this guy gets a second yellow card or Koulibaly last week because he's in the stands for being an idiot too. So, again, you have these complications that happen that just complicate your life. And, Raheem Sterling came up with 2 goals. But, these guys cut it down the goal. So it wasn't a walkover game. It was a good game. It was an enjoyable game. But, you look at these things and say, well, there's still ways to go. And the season's just started.
So, did you feel under pressure when you were ready, when you went a goal down? What was going through your mind at that time? Like, here we go again, another defeat on the back-to-back.
No, I don't do it like that. I watch the whole game. You get frustrated. You see stupid things happen because you figure, I hope that's the last one. I hope that's the one and only mistake in the game. But you never know because when the other team smells blood, it just makes it that much harder. They're going to come at you, right? Because now you're down to 10 men, so that will shift tactics a little bit for the other side, and then you have to readjust to be able to withstand. That's the other team does take advantage of the situation,
right?
And you got to give credit. They Leicester City, they didn't give up, and they in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, they were knocking at the door.
Yeah.
Mendy stepped up, saved us again, I think. Right? But you still see, the way they
your defense still seems very shaky.
What did I tell you about? There's still work in defense, and they were knocking at the door. If it was a Liverpool, if it was a Man City with Haaland today who scored a hat trick, and you have Julian Alvarez, that'd have been a goal. That'd have been a goal. So again, there's work to be done. She's a cutie pie. She's a cutie pie.
Right.
So but it's what it is, and it's just we'll see what happens.
Right. Bimo, you should be happy as a United fan. Second victory back to back after beating the mighty Liverpool last week. You kept the same lineup. When you saw the lineup again today, were you thinking like, or you were happy?
No, I was happy with the lineup because if that team put out a good performance against Liverpool, and won in the fashion they did, then you would reward them and play that team again. So I was happy with that. The only thing is, I thought Casemiro would get into that starting 11, but I guess
it needs more time.
They wanted to reward Scott. And did Scott start the game against Liverpool?
Yep.
He did. Okay, so that's why he was rewarded to start again. It was good. Ericsson for me is good on the ball, but his defensive work is absolutely rubbish. When someone else has the ball, he does not really close them down or make an effort to win it back. I just find that he's really lacking with defensive work.
Right.
But as a ball player and as a creator, he's pretty good.
Right. You saw. What's your take on the rugged, hard tackling Martinez combination of Varane?
I love that guy, man. He's got that Latin kind of aggression. You know, he's on hot sauce. He's like on, you know, his temperature's like up there.
He reminds me of the traditional past Argentine defender. You know, like Walter Samuel, like Coloccini, right? Like Jonas Gutierrez. They weren't dirty. They were just they were just tough. Gabriel Heinze was a butcher. He's a butcher. But the traditional Argentine defender that has what do you call it? A defender that has just that'll go and just he take the ball away from you, remind you he took the ball from you when he gets you. He knocks you off the ball, but you know, not dirty, but in a rough manner where you remember.
Yeah, in a clean way.
He was known that he was the Premier League press said at 5'9" he's too small to be a centre defender, but he seems to be doing just great at 5'9".
Yeah, and I know he did get some bad publicity for the first 2 games, but then, you know, if you have someone like Harry Maguire next to you, who's not going to give you that extra protection,
that's right.
Then you're going to be fallible.
He did well against Liverpool. I think Lisandro Martinez played along with
beside him, so they played that combination.
No, but the partnership is brilliant. You've got to stick with Varane and Martinez, because I was watching them very carefully today. That, you know, because Che Adams was targeting Martinez because of his height, Varane was there to help him win the dual challenges, the headers. And they were covering for each other all the time. When Varane was in difficulty, Varane's right there. Martinez right there just to back him up. And that's how a partnership should be. Maguire just goes off and does his own thing, goes out into midfield, thinks he's a midfielder, thinks he can play the ball out. The guy's a complete knucklehead. I swear sometimes, you know, they say he's a slab head. I wonder if there's actually his brain is made of slab.
I think also
concrete.
I think also that Martinez and Varane were also covering to kind of help out also Maguire. I think that was an extra pressure on them with having Maguire on, because they had to kind of like watch out for him. You know what I mean?
You know, the thing is, at this level, you cannot babysit a centre back, especially a 29-year-old. You know, the guy's not equipped to handle this Premier League or to handle our team, so he needs to go to a lower league team.
So without Maguire, without Lindelof, without Lucia, who 3 of them are literally are error-prone players. There's always an error, a mistake right there. And these last 2 games, you've seen this back for Malaysia, Delo, Varane, Martinez, vacuum everything up. They're not taking any chances. They're just clearing up shop.
Should be.
Can you hear me, Vimo?
Yeah, do you hear me now?
Yeah.
I can hear now.
Okay, I hear you.
I was watching also the warm up as well. Sorry, my mother just decided to
Hey, that's fine. Hey, Mom.
join in the.
Hey, Mom.
She doesn't know. She has no idea. So I was watching the warm up, and they had the defensive lineup, all 4 of them, basically practicing little drills.
Right.
It was quite interesting because all 4 of them would be lining up in a way. They'd be facing one way. One of them has to come out to win a header. Then they'll be facing the other way, coming out to win headers. And it was like they were trying to play the offside trap, but also maintaining that line together. And they were practicing, and I've never seen our defenders do that. And so I'm thinking, this training regime that Ten Hag's got, does that make sense?
That's the Dutch system of. That's the Dutch system. I mean, that's the Dutch system of your direct total football, where you know you defend in spaces and you move up and you go back and there's an order there. That's Ten Hag and his Dutch system.
Yeah, and what they were doing is that each defender would always see the next one, because you're on each other's shoulder. So they're watching each other, they're maintaining the line, one of them's coming up to win the header, then going back into formation. Right. Then they'll switch sides, so and all facing Malaysia's way. Everyone's looking over each other's shoulder, they're working as a unit, coming out to win balls. get back into line. And it was just this unity of a defense working together for once.
That's what we haven't
Whereas-
had in a while, because
Yeah.
we've been having guys who are not sure of each other, not mentally or tactically aware of their surroundings. You see Maguire, a set piece will come in, Maguire's looking like, you should be taking him. No, you're the toilet. You should take the tallest guy. So it was so much, as a leader, he always failed to lead and organize his defense.
And he was your captain.
And you know what, Rodrigo, stop throwing it in there. We know that.
He was Ollie's captain, and
He was your captain.
he's Ollie's captain, and he's Ollie's captain. He chose him.
I miss him.
And
I miss him
think
as captain.
Ten Hag doesn't want to rumble too many things.
Don't worry. He's coming to Chelsea. Carry on.
I don't think so. If he comes to Chelsea, it'll be his cook. He'll be working in the kitchen.
All right. So United were able to get 3 points again today after getting the 3 points against Liverpool last week. Bimo, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling, because what we've seen, there's been a drop with the fans on the Glazer out because United have won 2 games in a row. Is this a concern for you?
So the fans worldwide, our billion-plus fans, should not drop that stance about Glazer out, because this is, them spending money and our wins is just trying to gloss away from that real story, which is about getting the Glazers out. We want them out. They're no good for this club. They are parasites, and we do want someone like Sir Jim Ratcliffe or Michael Knighton's consortium to come and take over finally, because these boys, this Glazer family, they don't put money into the club. They only draw money out. And the only reason we can buy players is through our huge commercial enterprise.
Yeah.
Through all the profits, through all the money we generate. Yeah, we only buy players through money we generate, not from owners' money. They don't put a single penny in. Abramovich was a fantastic owner of Chelsea, plowed in tons of money. He set a statement of intent that he wants to be a champion and he wants to be, Champions League winners, Premier League winners, and he did that. And he backed it up with his own money. The Glazers have never done that. It's about time we had change of ownership. Right. So don't take your eye off the ball. Glazers out. Glazers out.
Well said, Vimo. Thank you very much. Because I was talking to a lot of United fans, and the momentum from when we lost those 2 games, now United won 2 games. Everyone's happy, like, we're going to get Anthony, so it's like everyone's happy now. And when they're happy, when United lost the 4-0 to Brentford, there was now trouble in the house. All of a sudden, 500 million, 300 million numbers were up there. United could get 5 players. They beat Liverpool. The numbers dropped to you can only get 2 more players. So it's like trying to protect the brand by throwing things at the fans, dangling carrots in front of the fans, like, you know what, we got you. And this is the first time in a long time that there's an owner who's ready to buy the club, who's English, who supports the club. They've never had that threat before, but now they're feeling like, they've got someone who wants to buy the club. He knows the sport. He's English. He's a United fan. They're a panic because they never had someone wanting to buy. It's always, general. But someone is like, I stood up. I want to buy the club, and I don't want a steak. I want the full cake, not a slice of the cake. I want everything. Now they're concerned, so it is worrying for them, But we proceed, and we hope that the Glazers out movement continues, and we'll continue to push that agenda, regardless of what they spend or how many players come into the club.
They don't spend anything. The club is spending. So the momentum, we have to keep the momentum going, keep pushing Glazers out. All the fan channels are doing it. All the supporters around the world are doing it. We must not lose momentum.
Always the case. Now, United have 6 points out of 12. Chelsea. So, Rodrigo, how many points do you have now? Because I knew you drew with Spurs, which was a very good game. I love that match. I remember that game clearly. 1 point, 3 points today. So, how many points do you have in total now? 7? Or
Let me. I'll make sure here. I know we're out of. I think we're in 7th place also. Okay. Let me see here. Chelsea have 7 points and are in 6th place.
So you got 2 wins and 1 draw, 1 defeat. So
we're tied with Leeds for 7th for place, wow. But Leeds have a must 3 goal point difference.
Yeah, right? And we're in 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. Liverpool just behind us. Liverpool just behind us. But they've got a plus. there on 5 points, but they've got a goal difference of +8.
And Arsenal's perfect, man. Arsenal's perfect.
What
Top of the
Rodrigo,
table.
as a Chelsea fan, Rodrigo, when you see Arsenal now, 4 games, 4 wins, are you concerned or too early to be concerned?
Guys, it's just the 4th game of a long season.
And you know what? It's Arsenal.
Anything can happen. You know, you don't start getting concerned until February. We start seeing who's running out of steam and all that. No, I mean, come on, it's just the first round. I'm sick of all these ESPN making predictions. 4th game. Oh no, these guys are done. Come on, this is a long season.
Right.
You know, then you have the other transfer window. Are they doing a transfer window during the World Cup or no?
No, I think there's one in January. That'll be the next one. This one ends. This one ends on.
It all depends also what players come on board. You know, so it's still a long way to go. This is just the beginning. You know.
Yeah.
So
you're believing it's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Of course, it's the endurance, man. It's the endurance. You can start off barnstorming, winning 5-6 games at a time, then all of a sudden you lose 1 game, you draw, you lose another game, you draw, you win a game, you draw, and you saw before you know it. This happened to Chelsea.
Right.
We dropped points at the last part of the season before you know it, we're in 3rd place.
Yeah. You started very well last season.
And Claudio Ranieri and Leicester City win the league. Right?
So this is my thoughts, Vimo. As it stands, I've got a lot of Arsenal friends. They are saying you Arsenal want to put that belief into the players that with winning you could be champions.
No, that's good. That's good. It's good to think of, but you know you have to be realistic also. You know, isn't Arsenal's best start of season in what 12 years, something like that? So yeah, you know, I'm happy for Arteta. He's a good guy. He's come under so much criticism attack, but now he's got players that he can work with and compete. Now I am not an Arsenal fan. I do not like Arsenal, but I'm happy for Arteta, and it's good for the league. It's good for football. It really is. It's good for football. It was great for football when Leicester City was champions. It was good for the sport. It was good for the Premier League, you know?
Right.
So you it's interesting, and it makes it interesting, right? So now the pressure is on the big boys, on Man City, on Liverpool, on Chelsea, on Man United, on the wannabes, you know, to step it up. Because now you have a challenger, which is what makes it interesting. Right. West Ham, you know, West Ham is promising. You know, let's see what's happening also with Leeds.
Right.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to win the league, but how will they stack up in the end?
Right.
So I'm saying it makes it interesting.
You know what would be funny though, right? If at the end of the season, you know, because obviously City, we saw that they were struggling first half today. If at the end of the season Arsenal end up above Man City, and Man City sold 2 of their players to Arsenal in Jesus and Shevchenko, wouldn't that be funny?
But you know, Man City, they made up for that. Is, you know, most teams sell a player and they don't replace him. What Man City did.
They always replace, and not only do they replace, they fill up the stocking, they fill up the cupboard as well. They stockpile.
That's a smart team. If you're going to sell a player, you better have someone to replace him.
That's a team with unlimited money.
But smart. But they know how to buy. They have a great sporting director, Guistain, who was Barcelona's sporting director, and when they were on top of the world. These guys are ex-football players who know how to buy talent. If Guardiola says, "I need another guy who plays this," you got it.
Yeah. So what they have is they have a good system in place. We still rely on the old scouting system, right? You know, having scouts going to watch games. These guys use video and technical analysis to look at players.
No, they have scouts too. But they have.
I hear you, but I'm saying they've got a more advanced scouting system. We have an old-fashioned. They do.
They have guys.
Sorry,
Rodrigo.
There's a case study on this, and I've been reading about this. So the teams like City, huh? Well, I mean, I can point it to you at some point, but teams like Liverpool and City have a more advanced scouting system nowadays compared to the old system. They use a lot of video technical analysis. They look at the system that the manager implements, and they look at the type of player that fits the profile of the gaps that they have in their team. So if they're looking for a right winger who has X amount of pace, a certain height, strength, can hold up that profile, then they look at players that will fit that profile. They won't look for, I don't know, let's say a short player who's really speedy on the ball, but he hasn't got no physical presence. They look at gaps in their system that the manager's implemented, and using technical video analysis and this sees football valuation system. They look at the best possible profiles of players that they need, and then they propose it to the manager. They say to Pep and Klopp, look, we found you 3 or 4 guys that can fit this central midfield position. Which one of these would you like? We think they're all good, and we'll explain why they're good. So rather than the manager scouting for players he thinks he needs, the club together and all the experts put forward 3 or 4 suggestions and saying, look, we think these are the best possible fits. So their scouting system is far advanced.
And you can see the success from that method compared to these guys who go to the old school style and, oh, that guy looks like he's got talented, and oh, he looks like he could sell a few shirts.
Yeah.
No, but in Manchester, you have Pep Guardiola, you have TJ Pellegrini, and Pep staff. Those guys know how to pick players.
Yeah, but there's more to it than just those 3 individuals.
Because
there's more to it.
Because I'm gonna tell you, physical fitness, jumping high, that's still not.
Yeah, but do you know, with City, it's a City football group. They have a number of clubs. They own a number of football clubs. They apply this whole system. They've got a whole bunch of people, whole departments, looking at players and analyzing them and seeing what they're good at. Look at up and coming talent. They scout. They look at all the academies from all around the world, and they look at the players that can fit a particular league. And just through their analysis, their technical analysis, they know which player fits which league and fits which club, and that's how they're so successful as a City football group.
Well, then you take that to New York because they're not doing the same business that Manchester City is.
Yeah, probably because of I don't know, level of interest in that club, I guess. I mean, Man City now, Premier League, they are, really making a mark.
Yeah, but you also would think in an MLS market like in that market like MLS, they would want to dominate MLS also.
I think it will happen. It will happen in the future, I think. And I've got a feeling as well that you might see a lot of Man City players going over there.
Right.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it in the future.
So as it stands now, Man City, the current champions, the holders of the EPL, seem to be giving teams a 2-0 head start and coming back. Last week they were 2-1 down. They came back to 3-3. Today they were 2-0 down and came back to win. Because when Crystal Palace went 2-0 ahead, I thought, okay. But something kept telling me, this Man City team, they don't give up easily.
They don't. They always overturn deficits.
That's what makes a championship team. That you start out losing and you find a way to save the day. That's what makes champions.
Not the final score, 4-2?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4-2.
You know what I mean?
They always overturn deficits. They've done it the past few seasons as well. Yeah. They've got something special.
You guys used to do it too back in Alex Ferguson's day.
We used to, yeah. We used to.
Used to.
At 2-0 down now, I don't know if this 10 out. At 2-0 down, heads will drop like,
2-0 is the most deceptive marker in football.
Yeah. The thing is as well, if you've got the depth in your squad, right, and you've got, let's say, 18, 20 players who've got a lot of strong belief that they can influence and turn around a game, then you know that you can actually go and turn over this deficit. And with Man City, you've got 8 good subs on that bench who can go and influence and change a game.
Impact.
We are slowly building it. Chelsea, you've got good subs as well. But we've only got 3 or 4 players that we can rely on to go and change a game.
But also you have a manager, you have a Pep Guardiola that knows how to inspire players, how to work their mentality, and how to make the proper changes. Yeah. That helps also. Alex Ferguson knew how to make the proper changes. Right? And in halftime he knew how to pick them up.
Yeah. I don't find him as charismatic though.
My text was going off like, oh, City are 2-0 down.
Pep.
Something
Pep is quiet. He does all this. He does all this stuff behind doors.
He's calculating.
Now
I don't find him charismatic though.
Now when the team is losing, watch him.
Yeah,
you know what?
But you know what he does? He creates an element of competition. So you know you're a high payroll player on Man City team, and you know that you have only got a limited chance to go and perform and shine. When you create so much competition in your squad that the first 11, you know, everyone's vying for those positions. When you know that you're creating opportunities for someone else to come in and prove themselves, like Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish has become a fringe player, but he's a game changer. He needs to come on and needs to prove himself. And that's what you do with creating competition. And I think Pep Guardiola has done that purposely to create competition. Say, look, if my first 11 is not delivering, I'm going to switch up 4 or 5 players now that I can do 5 subs. And I'm going to allow this second, the other squad members to prove themselves. And they're all desperate to do so. They're all desperate to prove themselves.
That's why they are where they are. You see, United players off form, they're still going to start. If you're not playing properly, you're being bad, you're being poor, you're still going to be starting next week because your position is not under threat. You use the same bad players week in, week out, thinking maybe something click in their head that they need to play better, but they won't. And that's why this team has been like this.
Look at Carlo Ancelotti. Is he charismatic? But the guy wins everywhere. But he wins everywhere.
Yeah.
He's won in all 5 top leagues. He's won 4 Champions Leagues as a coach. I think he's won 2 as a player and 4 as a coach. And the guy gets results. And he's not charismatic. He looks like a mafia don. he looks like he's the head of the Gambino family. But the guy gets results, and he knows how to get the best out of his players.
Yes, I see.
So
yeah.
With Pulisic, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry, can you?
Pulisic to United. What's your thought, Vimon? I'm gonna ask you. Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Vimon, you go first.
No, I was because they were talking about a swap deal for Maguire. So what's going on with Pulisic? I mean, he was such a brilliant player. How come he's fallen off? The not the cliff, but
Pulisic's problem is he's injury prone. And I think that Chelsea doesn't do enough to find a way to help him with those problems. I think is to bring in specialists to help him see what the problem is, what exercises or things he needs to do to work on to get him to beat that. And I don't know, maybe other than that, I don't know why Tuchel doesn't play him. I don't know if he's fallen out with Tuchel or if Tuchel's lost faith in him. I don't know. I really don't know. He's a great player. I think, and I've told this to many, and other people say, you know what? Pulisic made a mistake coming to Chelsea so quickly. He should have stayed 1 more year in Dortmund. I think he came over.
Someone has said that. You said that. Another guy told me that they think he didn't stay at Dortmund long enough. That he saw that opportunity of EPL. He just ran straight to EPL first call.
Yeah. He didn't do it for the money. He did it for the opportunity. But I think he should have stayed 1 more year at Dortmund, and then come to England or wherever.
Right.
That's just my opinion. And I'm looking at it as a player, I'm looking out for the player, because he's a great player, and I know he plays for Chelsea, and he plays for the US and all that. But it's a shame to see a player like him, who's a good player, be injured. Oh, he's 20-something, man. He's a kid.
He's 24, 25. So they're saying that the latest with him is ankle injuries. He's got very susceptible ankles, a bit like Harry Kane, really. And that's caused him to miss. I always liked Pulisic. I thought he was a really exciting player because he's very electric, very fast-paced. He runs at defenders.
Yeah, he's good.
I always liked Pulisic. And to be honest, if I could swap with Harry Maguire for a year, I would take him.
You would swap a chair for Harry Maguire. Come on.
I would swap 10 concrete blocks for Harry Maguire.
Vimo, I was going to ask you, and I'm going to ask you both. But I'm going to start Vimo. When you saw and heard the son of Casemiro, were you thinking that's not going to happen? I think we're in a few chats when that was.
Yeah.
Now that he's
Well,
signed, what's your take?
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he's signed, but when I heard all these stories, I thought it was just more Glazonomics, pushing out false stories out there to keep us on the edge of our seats and thinking, yeah, we're going to sign somebody, like the Frankie de Jong saga. They've done it all along. They just dangle a little carrot in front of you, saying, yeah, we're going to sign all these players. We care about this club, but they'll drag it out to the last day and not sign anyone. I think Eric Ten Hag said, look, I need a CDM. We've started off with 2 losses. McFred can't do it on their own. Even as a pair, they cannot do it. We need a specialist CDM.
That's one job. They still can't pull it off.
Yeah. Since Carrick has left the club, we've never had a specialist CDM. We've been crying out one. Ollie wanted one. Ralph wanted one. Jose wanted one. And Ten Hag's got his wish. So, yes, he was a bit on the expensive side. Yes, he's 30 years old. But we've got a specialist CDM now. So I'm hoping that, we keep him fit. We manage him. Let him rotate a little bit with McFred and get 4 years out of him. I think we'll be okay.
But he wanted to come to
winner. What do you think of Rodrigo? What do you think of Casemiro as a player, as a winner?
First of all, Casemiro wanted to go to United. He said, "I've done everything I can here at Real Madrid. It's time to move on," and he wanted to go to Man United. He didn't. It wasn't the Blazers. It was Casemiro said, "If I leave this club, I want to go to Man United." That's reality. Even Ancelotti said that. All right. I think Casemiro for you guys is good. He's a player you guys can need, and Ten Hag can make very good use of him. And I think also going to De Jong, he used Man United the way Mbappe used Real Madrid. He had no intentions of coming to Man United or to Chelsea. That's using that. He was using that as a negotiate. His manager was using that as a negotiating tool. Going back to Casemiro, I think that's a good buy for you guys. And a manager like Ten Hag will know how to use him. You can bring in a great player, but if your manager doesn't know how to use him, how to get the best out of him, put him in the right position where he can be the most effective, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good he is because you'll waste him. You see how many great players were wasted by crappy managers that didn't know how to use a player.
Ole.
I go Michael Owen. Real Madrid ruined Michael Owen.
I thought he did well at Real Madrid.
They ruined him. They ruined him.
Goals?
He goes to Real Madrid. They sit him on the bench, put him on position. He gets hurt. He was never the same. So but Ten Hag is a good manager. They will know how to use Casemiro and use him well. So that's a good thing. So that's a double window. You have the right manager that can use this kind of player and use him effectively. So that's a good thing for you guys.
And
he wanted to come United. And he wanted to come United. He wanted to come to United. That's the thing.
Yeah, but do you not think also, because a couple of his mates have also come to the club, i.e. Varane and Ronaldo, he would have spoken to him. He would have especially spoken to Varane because they work quite closely together, saying, look, what do you think about me coming to Man U? Is it a good club? What do you think of the coach? I'm pretty sure there would have been a private conversation, and he said, yes, come along, you'll enjoy it. And it's the next part of our chapter in our football careers. Real Madrid, Man United.
He's going to be a success at United.
Yeah,
he's a specialist. That's his job. It's a square peg in a square hole. It's not a square peg in a round hole whereby, he normally plays this wing. We're going to play him in this position. He's going to be a CDM, and a CDM is what he's going to do. He's going to play attacking mid. No.
Yeah. And the other thing as well, the other guy that we tried to get, Camavinga, he would have been a choice for us, and I think we did pursue him, but he ended up going to Real Madrid, and he is the future of Real Madrid in terms of CDM position.
And
so Rodrigo, Casemiro knew that these young boys are coming in, they're going to effectively be vying for my position. And the way Fergie used to do it is that you've got to make space for the young talent. So the older ones have to move on. So there would have been that conversation that, look, Casemiro, we love you, but I think your time has come now.
Well, that's one thing about... Go ahead.
I remember Perez, the president, saying, Casemiro has been a great servant. They will not stand in his way. He's done a lot for the club. If he wants to go to Man United, they will not stand his way. So they will let him speak to United and go to United if the deal is right. And Bob's your uncle. Now we're talking of Casemiro, 5-time Champions League winner, 3 La Liga titles. He's won all the trophies available, all done. 19 trophies.
That's what I'm saying.
Winner.
So, and then he wants to still compete. He wants to come. He comes to a club that's not in Champions League. He knew that. He knows that there's a lot of work to be done. There's a new manager, and that. But I think he has confidence, Ten Hag, knowing that he's gonna. If it takes a year or whatever, he will make that squad better. And he knows he has a place in the squad, and I think believes in Ten Hag. I don't think he'd come if Ten Hag wasn't there.
I think so too. I don't think he would be coming if it was Ole still there. I don't think so, man.
No,
That's correct.
I think he believes that he believes in Ten Hag's project. I think he sees there's future for United, and that he could be a part of that. Because he's no idiot. The guy's no idiot. I mean, when you play for Real Madrid, you play for Ancelotti, you play for Zidane. You've won all this stuff like that. He's going to want to finish up on a big team.
Yeah.
And knowing that United's not going to play Champions League, he still wanted to come. And that's commendable. That's commendable.
That's true, because Champions League used to be the draw. You know, like we had Champions League football. Maybe that is what De Jong is looking at. Like, you know, you guys don't even have Champions League football yet. So when you have it, you come call me. Let me sort out my money, get my money first. When you guys are in Champions League, you can't call me. But for now, I'll go take over my business, and I want to play some Champions League football. I think that's what De Jong has told United. And I think he's just stringing the club along, like you said, trying to get a better deal for himself at Barca and make sure. I understand they owe him money. I get it. Anyone would say, you know, I need to get my money, because there's no point in leaving the club and your money there and start trying to fight it legally. That takes forever. While you're there, you can fight it more than out of the building. You know what I mean?
But De Jong was just using United and Chelsea like Mbappe did with Real Madrid. That's what his manager did.
So you're saying,
and now he's staying. He's staying. Now he's staying. All of a sudden he's okay. He's okay with this contract. See what I'm saying? It's the game that representatives and players reps they play. Right, and Mbappe did the same thing with Real Madrid.
So you're saying Mbappe never wanted to leave?
No, Mbappe was playing his hedging his bets. I think he was hedging his bets. Either way, he doesn't lose, right? Either way, if he stays, if he goes to Real Madrid, then he goes to the best team in the world and will make money. He gets to play alongside of Benzema and has a good chance of winning another Champions League. PSG, well, here I stay here. I got more money, and I'm the main guy in the team. I have influence here. It's all about me. It's all about me and me. But you know what? Exactly. And he's got the Qatar Saint-Germain, Al Khelaifi. He's the one that makes the players have more power than the manager. So either way, he wins. But he played the game. You know, he played the game. Oh, you know, Real Madrid's my favorite team, and I love Ronaldo, and you know, that's been my dream, and da-da-da-da-da.
Do you know how much they pay Mbappe now?
No.
Since he did that little trick of his.
What is he getting?
Have a guess. 500
a week?
No.
Rodrigo, what do you reckon?
I read it, I forgot it. It's just some stupid amount. It's like 600 something. They're talking about 680 a week or something like that.
He earns 22 million euros a year, which is approximately 1.15 million a week.
What?
Hold on. $63 million a year. That's his salary. Mbappe is set to earn $63 million a year, which works out 1.15 per week. Probably the highest paid player in the world.
Plus, a big part of his image rights too. He owns a big part of his image rights. On top of that,
he's 23 years old. So what a move he made, by threatening to leave PSG.
But here's the funny part. At 23 years old, Messi already had 4 Golden Boots and 2 Champions Leagues. This guy is making an astronomical amount of money that hasn't helped his club win the Champions League yet.
No, but he has a World Cup.
Yeah, but the thing is that's a World Cup. I understand that, but what has he done for PSG?
Nothing. No, they've won the Spanish league title.
They've won league titles, but they're still the best team in. But they didn't win it all the time straight. Delay won it last year, I think.
Yeah, but they're just another Man City.
But they
win the titles, the domestic titles, but they can't win the Champions League yet.
No, and they won't win the Champions League because they got too many stars and not a team. Man City will win it before they will.
Wow. Man
City will win the Champions League before Qatar Saint-Germain ever will, in my opinion.
I hope Man City don't win it.
May the best club win. So, as we have seen this weekend, there's still so many big games to come. Spurs haven't played. I think Spurs play tomorrow. That's another team that is really doing well this season.
That's another good team to watch.
Yeah,
Spurs.
With Conte at the helm, doing well. United fans are celebrating. Most of them are literally all out drinking and happy that United got second win so 2 wins out of 4. And the game wasn't. I thought Southampton even gave United more problems than Liverpool because Southampton were constantly pumping that ball into the defense of United. But with Martinez and Varane, Malaysia and Delors, they held firm and they didn't crack under the pressure. As we know, previous United defenses led by Captain Harry would have crumbled like a pack of cards and a sack of potatoes.
You see the difference. You see the difference not just in the wins, but when you see a defense play the way they did, like you two are saying. They fed off each other. They understood each other. They backed each other up, and the defense was solid. And that's what you want. And that you take it from there. But with Maguire, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he's still a human being. But the reality is that he's out of his depth. He can't play. He's not a United player. That's what people have to understand.
Well, he made one statement last season. At least the manager still picked me, so I can't be that bad. I said, wow.
Well, that was defending himself with all the attacks. He probably, he was probably desperate. You say what's on top of your head because people are attacking you, and the press is just throwing things at you and calling you a flop and calling you this and that. And they keep showing the reruns of you missing the ball. He's a human being, but he's a human being. I'm sure the poor guy felt like the whole world hates me. So I feel bad for the guy because he's a human being. But the reality is he's not up to being a Manchester United player. Maybe he may do better somewhere else.
I mean, I hear what you're saying, Rodrigo. But at 200,000 a week, I'm sure you can hire a good psychologist to help you feel better.
But that's not his fault. Whoever hired him and gave him that rate, which is your.
I know, but don't feel too sorry for him because he's extremely rich.
Well,
he's earning a lot of money, and with all that money, he can go and see some nice psychologists and say, "Harry, you are a good defender. You just got to find out those basic skills."
But it's not so much about money. Also, you know what? People with money and with position, they get depressed and they kill themselves. You know what I'm saying?
He ain't gonna kill himself.
No. I'm saying because think about this: his family. They gotta listen to that too. His kids have to listen to people make fun of his dad. His kids make it hung dry at school. Oh, your dad's a flop. Your dad's a flop. You lost again.
It's on him. If you're in the position, you've got to try harder. He's got to go back to basics, learn how to be a good defender. That's it.
Or he goes to another club, gets a new breath of fresh air, and starts over. But the pressure in Man United, there's pressure when you play for a club like that.
And the captain, whoa.
And you're under the microscope. And a big club like that, you're under the microscope. Look at Piqué and Busquets. Just to give you an example, at Barcelona and Jordi Alba. You look at other players. What happened at AC Milan with their defender. I mean, they're always under because of the club. They're and the
Maldini, pressure. I know them. No.
You have those are the guys that you have to look to. Maldini, Baresi, Donatoni. At United, you're in the shadow of Rio Ferdinand, Rio Ferdinand, Jaap Stam. All those big defenders you guys used to have. That's the shadow of those guys they have to live under. Right?
That's true.
That's where you live at. If you go to play for Real Madrid as a defender, Fernando Hierro, Ivan Campo, Roberto Carlos. Those are the guys that you're going to be compared to. That's the history. That's the problem when you go play for a club like that. The pressure from the club itself the press and the fans.
It's not easy, mate.
It's not easy.
It cannot be.
I don't envy the guy. I make fun of the guy because of you guys, just because I banter with you guys. But but the guy's a human being, you know.
Yeah, they're all human beings, but so are we. And there's a billion fans out there who are also human beings.
But I understand
who
that because
don't need to suffer by watching shambolic
but that's the club's fault. Why did he keep putting him in that position? Why did he keep putting him in that position? Why did he keep, because the guy's not up to it. He's shown he's not up to it.
Yeah.
Do him a favor. Do the guy a favor.
And release him.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I hear you.
But
maybe give him a last chance. Let him go and work on his defending skills and see what happens.
Does the club have time for that? Do you guys have time for it? No. You guys can make it. No, you don't.
Or we can go. Maybe he can go and learn his craft at Chelsea. Just
no,
he can lend it to you.
He needs to go the Golden Balls FC.
Rodrigo trying to shift him away from Chelsea to
we don't want him.
I don't want him.
He's a human being, but we don't want him.
No, he's a human being, but you know what? He's not a Chelsea defender either. Chelsea needs defenders, bro. Chelsea needs defenders, not broomsticks.
He might work in your system. Yeah. He might work in a two-shell system. Are you from?
Yeah.
Chelsea needs defenders. They need defenders to help out Thiago Silva. They don't need another broomstick.
We have Ari, we have Wan-Bissaka. They're all available, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
We could give you a 50% discount, mate.
Even then, dude. Even then, bro.
2 goalposts.
Send them to Golden Balls FC, man.
Aaron and Harry, 2 goalposts.
Luke Shaw's available for a long deal.
How about what's this other guy? What's Stan Laurel's name? What's that guy? Looks like Stan Laurel. The guy looks like Stan Laurel. The defender, the one of the worst defenders you ever had, Phil Jones.
Oh God. Phil Jones is always injured during the transfer window.
But even when he played, the guy was a disaster. One of the most beautiful own goals I ever seen was that guy against Newcastle United. And I'll never forget it. In 2009, he made the most beautiful own goal with his head. I laughed for a half an hour. I couldn't help it. But when you keep playing, but when you keep playing these players they're out of their depth, you don't do them any favors. You're not helping them. They're not. They've been playing long for you. Find out they're not going to give you better.
The problem. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
The problem with club management, right, is that you do buy bad eggs. You've got when you haven't got a real proper transfer policy, you haven't got a real decent scouting system, and you just take punts and you buy players. And what we've been doing for the past 10 years is just buying junk, and we end up with a squad full of junk, which is what we have now, because of the poor recruitment decisions that we've been making.
Yeah,
that's why we have what we have.
Exactly.
Because of all these decisions that have been made. And so if we suddenly decide to release all of these shambolic players, we'll have no squad left.
That's true.
The thing is, you stuck with them.
Bringing in quality and not quantity. We're going to start. So it's like a transition of phasing them out slowly. But because we put these quantity players on such high wages.
Yes, there you go. You just said it also, the high wages.
Yeah.
Like Barcelona. Here's what made me better. They put these players at long-term contracts at astronomical wages, and you can't get rid of them because no club will pick them up, and no club will pay those.
Said this. They said, "Oh, he talks too much. What does he know?" They shipped him out when he told them the truth. That he doesn't understand why United would give people like buy a 5-year contract for players who don't even have regular team slots in the team.
These guys are making more money than your goalkeeper, who's proven himself. This guy said, more than De Gea, who's proven himself. They make more money than.
There's even the rumors they were trying to see that they can ship him out. That next year they want to ship him out. That they want a goalkeeper who could.
But it's just astronomical wages and long contracts.
Somebody's screaming in the background.
It's my little puppy here, man. He wants to go out.
I thought you had a little human there like on the floor.
No, it's
let me out.
It's Chacho.
It's him.
It's Chacho.
Oh, that's adorable.
Look at him. Boy. Look at him. He likes nose, eh? What have you got on your nose?
Boogers. Boogers.
Boogers. Not yeah,
Yeah, say goodbye. Say goodbye, Manx.
No, yeah,
Say bye, Manx. Hello, Manx. Hello,
Hi,
losers.
Max. Wait, he's just after your nose.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. They lost it.
Oh my God.
Right.
So, Tim, I wanted to ask you actually.
Right.
You might have heard this week that Jorge Mendes is trying to broker a swap deal for Ronaldo and Victor Osimhen.
Napoli.
Yeah.
Napoli.
Right.
But I just don't
Yeah.
see. I don't see De Laurentiis paying that kind of money. I don't see.
A
I don't
loan
see,
deal or permanent deal? Loan deal?
prominent.
No, well, yeah, but they're trying to do a swap, and the thing
Yeah.
is, Napoli value him at something like 100 million. But looking at his actual current value, it's around 50, 60 million.
Right.
Ronaldo's valuation is about what, 15, 20, maybe at the most, and astronomical salaries. But I don't know who's put this idea forward. But because obviously Ronaldo is desperate to play Champions League football, and he wants to just go to a club that has that Champions League status. I have no idea why, because if they get knocked out in the group stages, then it's all a waste, isn't it?
Exactly.
But
Napoli's a good team, but they don't have the players to play around him.
Exactly.
They don't have the.
I probably want to go to Sporting Lisbon.
the thing is, how good is this guy Victor Osimhen? Because from before this week, I've never heard of him.
He's
Really good.
He's a good player, but again, but can Ten Hag use him? The whole idea is not just get players. Does he fit into Ten Hag's style of play, and can he use him? That's the key. He could be a great player, but if he doesn't fit it what Ten Hag's trying to do with United, then it's not going to work.
The thing is, he's 6'1", he's strong, he's athletic, and he can hold up the ball. And that's the same profile. He's a striker. It's the same profile as the striker Ten Hag used in his final season. I've forgotten his name, the ex-West Ham guy. The ex-West Ham guy, he wasn't very good at West Ham. He got sold off, but at Ajax he was a revelation because he's a big up front. You know who I'm talking about.
West Ham didn't have a manager who knew how to use him. West Ham at the time had. I forget it.
But with Ajax and with Ten Hag, he likes a strong striker up front as a focal point, and that's what this guy became. And Victor Osimhen looks to be that type of guy. He's really strong and athletic.
Right.
Which is why we're trying to go for Benjamin Sesko, because he's a big focal point.
Benjamin Sesko's already dead. He's gone to thingy. He's gone to
He's out of the equation.
Yeah, he went to RB Leipzig. He's 20. He was 23. Young guy.
Yeah. So they churned him around the Red Bull franchise, didn't they?
Yeah. But it comes down to United not knowing what they really want. I mean, okay, say Ronaldo goes to play for a team, like you said, and they don't get up the group stage, then what?
It's all a waste, isn't it? Why does he want Champions League so much? This is the thing that I just keep asking myself. Why does Ronaldo want Champions League so much?
Because you understand, that's the thing that he's about. His value is that he's won all these Champions League titles, right? And he wants to leave.
He has the most goals.
And he wants to be like the current player with the most Champions League titles.
So he wants to maintain the record for being the prolific goal scorer.
Yeah, it's about him. You have to understand, Ronaldo, it's about him. It's always going to be about him.
But we're only 1 year away from Champions League, to be honest.
But the thing about this, he's 37 years old. 38, when he's still, his clock is ticking. As the years go by, he gets slower and slower. And it's just nature. Your body just doesn't react the way it used to. Very few players last as long as he has at high level football. Very few players have lasted the 37-year-old playing, but he is desperate. He is desperate to have it.
I hear you, and that's a good point. But check this out, right? Cristiano Ronaldo is the highest goal scorer in the Champions League. He's got 141. Second place is Lionel Messi at 125. He's 16 ahead of Lionel Messi, and Lionel Messi is fading fast. Behind that is Robert Lewandowski, 86, Benzema, 86. So Cristiano's got nothing to really worry about. He's got a 16-goal lead on Messi, and Messi's fading.
Messi can still score 16 goals.
Not in the Champions League.
Think so, not
in the Champions League. He's getting injured.
Don't count him on yet. He plays for a team that's below him, but don't count him on yet. But this is Ronaldo. Ronaldo is afraid of that. Ronaldo is scared of that. You understand? So that's why he wants to play Champions League, because he wants to. He still wants
Keep
to
that goal tally.
Yeah, and that's part of his. You know what I'm saying? He's got the most social media likes and stuff. It's about him. It's about him.
He's doing so much personal damage to his reputation because he's come back to the club that made him, and now he's damaging his relationship with the club, with the fans, by saying, "I want to leave the club because I want Champions League."
See, you would think
we're only 1 year away from Champions League. If he sticks with us this season, we'll be back in the Champions League next year.
But check this out. See, here's the thing. You would think he'd say, "You know what? I want to help this club get back to the top because they helped me get where I need to go." Right?
We made him.
But he's also saying, I only scored 24 goals with this team. I'm used to scoring 40 plus goals. This is the lowest tally I've ever had.
Yeah,
but
I can't. In his mind, I can't do that. I gotta play for a team in Champions League. I can score 30 or more goals. Here, you have to get inside his head the way he's thinking.
Someone said this thing that as many goals as Ronaldo scored, this team could not go beyond 6th position.
That's what I'm saying. He's saying, I'm stuck here in a hole I can't get myself out. I gotta go somewhere else. It's at least playing Champions League where I can get some more goals.
He's only got 1 year left anyway at the club.
He doesn't want to wait because his clock is ticking.
He's going to have to. He's got 5 days left. He's desperate to get to any Champions League club.
No one's going to take him. No, first, I don't see any club taking him because one, they'd have to rearrange their whole tactical system to benefit him to play him. 2, they may not have the players up to supporting what he does. He doesn't press. He doesn't press. He doesn't fall back to defend. He doesn't go and help in midfield. He wants the ball up front at his feet so he can score, or he can fall down and get free kicks, right? And 3 is ego. His thing is, I gotta have more and more so I can be the top scorer Champions League for the next 10 years. That's the way he is. He's a great player. He's a great performer. He's a great competitor. I get it, but think how he's thinking right now. That's the way he looks at it.
We scored in Champions League last season. I think 90% came from him, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
that's where he comes alive. He comes alive in that Champions League competition.
But he should also come alive in the league.
Like,
he needs to come alive in domestic football.
Exactly.
He's never played Europa before, has he? No way.
He can set a new record for that.
But that doesn't. Again, everybody badmouths the Europa Cup. I don't know why. It's still a European Cup. It's still a prestigious cup, and there's still money to be made. I understand the Champions League is the top cup. I understand that, but you're playing in Europe against other teams still.
Well, if he doesn't like Europa League, he definitely won't like.
I wish I could play Europa League. I wish I could play Europa League. I don't understand.
Like Europa League. I bet he doesn't like European Conference, which is the one after Europa League.
But it's still, what I'm saying. You can still make records, and he has the duty to help United, who helped him get to Real Madrid. To me, he should be saying, you know what? I want to help this team get back on the top. And I go back to Fiorentina, Gabriel Batistuta. They went down with him. Top goal scorer in the league. They went down. He said, you know what? I love this team. I'm going to help him come back up. And as we did in 1 year, he brought him back up. Remember Juventus when they got relegated because of the scandal?
Yeah. How
many players stayed with Juventus and helped them get back up? Right? How many players stayed with Juventus and got them back up the next year? River Plate and our team, they went down. All these players came back to play for free for River to bring them back up.
Wow.
Right? So why can't Ronaldo stay 1 more year in Manchester United, the team that put him on the map when they need him the most? Because we have to
wait and see. I hope he does right.
He may have no choice because I tell you, Napoli's not going to get. Napoli really can't afford it. De Laurentiis is
take a pay cut.
Laurentiis is not going to pay that kind of money. De Laurentiis is not going to pay. Plus,
and Sporting Lisbon don't have that money.
They don't have the players to really help him. If he was at Juventus and they couldn't win the Champions League, and you had great players at Juventus.
Juventus defense messed that one up. They just went up. What's his name? Buccini and Telecini. They really messed up that game against Lyon. They should have won. They should have gone at least to the semis.
But their problem was they thought they had the game won already. They thought they had the game won.
Yeah, I remember.
They thought they thought they had the game won, and they got the shock of their lives, just like Ajax.
Yeah.
Ajax played them the way Leeds played against Chelsea. Ajax played them same way. No fear, go straight at them, and because they thought they had won also.
Right.
They thought, I'm sorry, not Ajax, Lyon. They thought they had the game won. That was their mistake.
So as it stands, with 5 days to the end of the, it's 4 days left actually, end of the transfer window.
He's going to stay United. He's not
have either going to sell him, keep him. His mother's vision, the dream of Ronaldo's mom is when he retires, the last club is for him to return home
to Sporting.
To Sporting. That's the mother's dream. She said she would love her son to end his career at Sporting, where he started. So like a circle.
Look how many teams have turned him down. Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, PSG. Right? Because one, they just can't fit him into their system. Two, they can't afford him. They're not going to pay him those kind of wages. They're not good. They can't do it. The nice clubs are struggling financially. Bayern said no. It goes against what our system of football. He's a great player. He's one of the best. God bless him. But our philosophy, our culture, the way we do things here, getting him doesn't work.
Don't be surprised if you see him at Barcelona.
No,
he won't go there.
They can't afford him either. They can't afford to pay those kind of wages. They're trying to offload players because of what Bartomeu did. Atletico can't stand him. The team wants him, but the fans say, no, this guy used to make fun of us. He grabbed his balls in front of us. We don't want him. They've already said, we don't want him. They don't want him. We don't want him. Cholo said, yeah, I can use him.
He has tortured them. He has put them out of, he's put 2 Champions League out of them reach and destroyed them in the league for so many years.
But that's not the thing. Is the rivalry between them. He also poked fun at them. So yeah, they don't want it. The fans say, no, we don't want this guy. We don't even want him in the parking lot. So I'm saying, so all these big teams turned him down. Where's he going to go?
Wow.
Man City don't want him. They can't use him. They could afford him, but
Haaland getting a hat trick today. That's good.
So I'm saying, where's he going to go? Napoli can't afford him. Napoli doesn't have the players to use him to be able to help him score 40 goals.
Anyway, so look, Ronaldo seems to be stuck at Man United. He's going to have to find a way to be more productive in this Ten Hag system.
Yep.
But the question is, he's obviously going to be engineering a move for his next season club. And that's going to be the key thing, because he's 38 years old. He's going to want to notch up another 10, 15 Champions League goals so he can, be the world record holder forevermore. But I think he's damaged his reputation a lot in Manchester.
Yeah, everywhere, because you look at a guy that's just selfish. His motivation should be, I gotta help the team that put me on the map. They need me. I gotta help them. I'm gonna do whatever I can to bring this team back up to where they belong. That should be his motivation.
The other problem as well with Ronaldo, as much as a great player he is, but he does dislodge other players. Like, I don't know, with Bruno, we didn't see the best of Bruno when Ronaldo was around. When he was at Juventus, we saw, what's that little striker?
Dybala.
Yeah, Dybala. We saw him dip as well. And when he was at Real Madrid, Karim Benzema seemed a little bit stilted. When Ronaldo leaves the club, you see these players start to rise to the levels that they can truly be. So he does cause some kind of...
Van Nistelrooy with you guys too. Remember when he played next to Van Nistelrooy?
Yeah.
The Madrid
so
one,
he's
he have Benzema and Bale.
Then when he's the showstopper. Yeah, but Ronaldo wants to be the center of attention, right? Sorry, Tim, go on.
Yeah, he's the. With Real Madrid, they built the team around him. So you had Bale and Benzema. So it was what do they call themselves? BBC, Benzema, Bale, and Cristiano.
Yeah.
And you had Barca MSN, Messi, Suarez, and
Neymar.
Microsoft Network.
Yeah. So that was how it was. And Bell and Benzema got the ball to Ronaldo. But don't get me wrong, there were some games, and there's still some games that Ronaldo has single-handedly turned games around. I remember one game, I think it was the last Champions League final that he won for them. They lost 2-0 in Germany. 2-0. In the return game, he scored a hat-trick at Bernabeu. One corner kick. I remember the first goal, a corner kick, and this guy got so high to head this ball in. So it's that individual ability he also brings.
But the last Champions League final he was in, it was Bale who scored the winning goal. It was Bale.
No, I'm talking about the semis coming out, leading up to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, because the last Champions League finals, last two ones he won, it was Bale the last time, and before that it was Sergio Ramos.
I mean, let's not get bogged down with those details, but it's the aura of Ronaldo. What I'm trying to get to is that he causes some kind of disharmony or dysfunction in any team he goes to, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it now. We're seeing it now again. This is the thing I'm trying to get to, that he does cause something. I don't know if he's a nice player to have in the dressing room. Is he a nice player to play alongside? I probably wouldn't like to play against him because he's so self-obsessed. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this?
I would say a lot of it is press-fed. That's my opinion. I think in every club he's gone to, from Man United to Barca to Juventus, he's achieved everything that needs to be achieved, right? So
for himself.
So I mean, most of it mostly he won it with as a team player. That's not like is he a team player? That's what I'm trying to get to. All the accolades he gets through the club, but they are his personal ambitions to have all of these X number of goals, to be the top scorer, to win this many titles. People devote their lives to their clubs. Is he that person? No. I don't think he is.
No.
I mean, but I think, I beg to differ in some cases, because he gave United 6 years. He gave Real Madrid 9 years. He gave Juventus 3 years.
But he didn't do anything. He was brought to Juventus to win the Champions League.
But he can't win it all by himself, can he? It's like
but that's what he was. That's what he was brought for. Juventus screwed up by him. They should never applaud him. So they even said it.
But even so you look at it. When you buy Ronaldo, you build a team around Ronaldo. Always like that. Look at Juventus. Real Madrid, they have a supporting cast around Benzema, and that's why they're doing well. The guy who's got to go for
Benzema does things Ronaldo wouldn't do. Benzema falls back. He runs to the sides. Benzema's the workhorse. Ronaldo is not a workhorse.
But if Benzema, the Juventus game, the Juventus team, that team should have won the Champions League, but the defense was the problem. So it's like we will score 4, they will concede 5. We will score 4, they will concede 5.
No, because they won the league. They won the league again with them.
But they couldn't win the Champions League.
Because understand
that Lyon game.
They already thought they had that game won. Their mistake was they took the foot off the pedal because they thought they had the game won. Before they realized that they were losing and it was too late. They thought they had the game won, just like Milan did against Liverpool in the Champions League final. 3 up at halftime. Oh, we got this. You don't do that. Juventus thought, Lyon? Yeah, okay, whatever. No, that was the mistake.
Back to your question, Vimo. I don't think he dislodges things. I feel so. Okay, with United last season, I think some of those United players had a mental block, as in the standard he's setting. They cannot get to that standard, and just like I can't be bothered with this shit. Because even the games Ronaldo did not play, they didn't do anything. So you can't just blame. So Ronaldo, you can't blame him for the defense leaking goals. He's not in the defense, so why would you blame him? So that's the problem I want to discuss with.
No, so I don't. Okay, when he started fighting for
the lack of creativity.
No, things that are not in his control, you can't blame him for. But what I'm saying is that
he's blamed for everything.
No, so the point I'm trying to get to is that I saw him put up a real fight for Man United when our Champions League spot was in jeopardy. That's when I saw him start to really fight. That's when I saw him get more frustrated with the team. That's when I saw him start to get really annoyed. And you know, he has these outbursts, he has these tantrums. And when we started to lose our grip on that fourth spot, we started sliding. You saw Ronaldo start to disintegrate.
Because he saw it slipping away from him.
Yeah. And so I just think his own self-obsession sometimes is too much. Yes, it makes him a great footballer and he gets all his accolades, but is it damaging for the team because he becomes a difficult person to be with in the changing room? I saw him disintegrate as we started slipping down the table. And the thing is, when you are struggling as a team, you need to come together. You need to have unity. You need to figure out a way to start winning matches. Whereas him, he has these outbursts, these explosions. Fuck this team. I want to leave this team. I want to go to somewhere else. And the way he's been conducting himself now about saying, I want to go to another club. I want to go to another club. It's like the guy is a complete mercenary now. He's a different Ronaldo to the Ronaldo we had the first time round. He is now a mercenary, the kind of player that would suit Man City. You know, you go for the bucks, or you go for the accolades, or you go for the awards. I don't think he's got any loyalty to anyone. The way he can flip from club to club to club all around the world shows me that he doesn't really care about any club. And maybe Sporting Lisbon is the one.
No, he's about him. No, he is about him.
It's all about him.
If you played Perez said they got to a point whereby at his age, look at Bell. They didn't play Bell for 2 seasons. He just sat on the bench. Ronaldo's not going to do that. Do you think they wanted to keep Bell on those wages and not play him? But they couldn't play him. Did that just ignored him? Fine. You want to sit on the bench? Then sit on the bench.
But do you see the point I'm getting at? I'm trying to get into the character of Ronaldo. I'm trying to get into his psyche, and I see something different in Ronaldo now that I saw back in the olden days.
He is not the same player that he was when he first came to United.
He's driven.
At 24.
He's self-obsessed and driven for his own personal needs, and I think the clubs don't matter to him anymore.
No,
they're just a tool. They're just a vehicle, and that's what we are. That's what Juventus have been. Real Madrid has been a vehicle for him to get him all those Champions Leagues, to get him all those Champions League goals. They are just vehicles for him. I think the man is completely self-obsessed.
But if you think about it, when a player goes to a club and has won everything, what's there to challenge for anymore when you've won every medal available?
But we're talking about club football, right?
Yeah.
You've got to give you've got to give a piece of yourself to your club. If you don't give yourself to your club, what are you giving?
He gave Real Madrid 9 years. How many years?
But it was
9 years. Is a long time, bro.
It is a long time, but I think it was only a vehicle. I think it was a vehicle to get him the awards that he wants, to get him the stats that he wants.
Yeah. Look at Messi. Messi, how long was he at Barcelona? And he cried when he had to leave. He cried.
But Messi was brought up at Barca. That's 2 different examples.
When he fought
at Barca.
Yeah, but his club of his heart is Newell's Old Boys. That's where he came up. That's his heart. Barcelona gave him his treatment he needed for his formal treatment. So he repaid him back with his loyalty.
Right.
With his loyalty, he said, this club is what made me. This club put me where I'm at now.
Right.
And he had to leave because they couldn't afford me more. And he wept. That's the difference. What Vin is saying, right? What Vin is saying is Ronaldo, he uses these clubs as a stepping stool for him. He stayed at Real Madrid because that's what was good for him at the time. He fell out with Florentino Perez, and he had to leave, right? And they got rid of him at just the right time. So he goes to Juventus. Oh, this is my club. I'm great things. He could win the Champions League. He leaves all disappointed. And Now he may be going to Man City. Did he say, I want to go to Man United? No, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. You guys can't say he wouldn't go to Man City. He didn't say.
The fact
he never did. He never said. He never said. No, I can't go to Man City because I pay for Man United. He never said that.
That for me was also a warning sign. Is that he knows a rivalry between the Manchester clubs.
I doubt he would have gone to Man City.
He never said. I can't go there
because of his connection, his relationship with Alex Ferguson. That's why he didn't go to. He would have gone to City.
No, because he just said, by the way, guys. Because Man United did this all for me. I cannot go play against a arch rival like that. I can't go for Man City or Liverpool because of my respect and love for Man United. Sorry. Case closed. That's what he should have said. He would have gone. He would have gone to Man City.
I doubt
Yeah.
it. I doubt
Yes,
it.
he would.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a big warning sign for me that when he was actually considering coming to Man City, knowing how much rivalry we have with them, like with them and Liverpool, the fact that he would even consider them shows to me that guy's got no loyalty. Now, I don't know if you've seen this, yeah?
I doubt it.
You know who said no? You know who said no?
I think he would have. I think he would have.
You know who said no?
The other thing as well, I don't know, did you see the Figo documentary about when he left Barcelona to go to Real Madrid?
Yeah, he's a traitor.
Yeah.
No, but did you see the documentary about the truth about what happened?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't valued at Barcelona.
Oh, that was a lie, because they all begged him to stay. They begged him to stay. That's a lie.
Yeah.
They begged him to stay. He went for the money. He went for the
they
money.
offered him 4 times as much. Also, Florentino Perez cornered his agent into a deal saying, if I win the presidency, you're going to come to Real Madrid. And he got his agent to sign a contract.
That's
but
what
in that contract was a penalty of 30 million euros that if Figo doesn't join based on this contract, if I win the presidency, then you have to pay this fine. And so they almost cornered Figo into this. But Figo actually wanted to stay at Barcelona. He actually did want to stay, but he was cornered into it through Florentino Perez, who duped his Figo's agent. And so to me, you know, and the fact that they're both Portuguese, Ronaldo and Figo does express that he actually did want to stay at Barcelona, and I think that there is some loyalty there. Maybe not. I mean,
the
watch documentary.
That we as fans don't know, but we think we know till we hear it from the player saying it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
don't believe what the press say a lot. I really don't.
I don't believe Figo. And it's just like Brian Laudrup when he left from Barcelona to Real Madrid. Or how about Luis Enrique went from Real Madrid to Barcelona? He said that.
Yeah.
I came because I wanted to. Period. He's the guy's honest. He goes, I came because I wanted to. They don't like me in Madrid. Too bad. I'm not from Madrid anyway. I'm from Andalusia. But he said, you know, Luis Enrique said the truth. Laudrup, oh no, everybody was happy with me leaving. No, they weren't. You just don't. How about Sol Campbell?
When he went from Spurs to Arsenal.
Tell me that guy ain't hated.
He wanted to go to a team where he was going to win titles. Look at
he said,
he wanted to stay. Okay,
but he always said, no, I'm happy here. I'm not leaving. Figo said the same thing. I'm happy here. I'm not leaving. And he leaves. Sol Campbell said the same thing.
Okay. What would you say about the Van Persie situation?
Van Persie made it clear. He wanted to go somewhere where he can win titles.
After all the injuries
and we gave
Arsenal were there for him during the injuries. Now, do you know how much they hate that guy?
I know. But he told the truth. Hey, I wanted to win titles. I wasn't going anywhere here with Arsenal.
And he won a title, and he was instrumental.
So, why didn't he be loyal to Arsenal? He was there 10 years. He grew up through the system. What was the problem?
You see, you know. Yeah, that's a good point. But you know,
there's no loyalty in football anymore. You understand?
There's no loyalty. But I'm saying the biggest example of no loyalty in football is Ronaldo. Yeah. Because look, Real Madrid's biggest rivals are Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. He tried to engineer a deal to Atletico. Our biggest rivals are City or Liverpool. He tried to engineer a deal to City. Napoli are rivals of Juventus. He tried to engineer a move to Napoli. So he really has no loyalty to clubs, anyone, anywhere in the world.
No, he doesn't.
Anywhere. And I think that's evidence.
There was an interview that asked him. He said it's not about the money. He said it's not because he could have gone to play in Qatar or Saudi Arabia.
It's not about the money.
No, it's not about the money. Yeah. It's about himself. It's about his ego, his image.
Yeah, and I think that he's become a product of his own ego. It's got too big for himself that he doesn't even realize what he's doing now. That he's damaging relationships all around the world. He's actually damaging his legacy.
He is. Well, that's the reality. And you know, I said his motivation should be, it's time for me to help United get where they need to be. They brought me to the table.
We will wait and see how.
You want to be remembered for the good things you do in football, and not for your own self-obsessive desires. And I think he's going down the wrong path.
Look at Totti with Roma. United wanted him. Real Madrid wanted him. Barcelona wanted him. Bayern Munich wanted him. He says no. I am a Romano. I'm a Roman.
Yeah.
This is where I stay.
Yeah.
Batistuta, he was Fiorentina, went down, came up with them. Messi with Barcelona, he left because he had no choice. He didn't want to leave. So there's very few that left, you know. And you guys, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, you know, all those players that stayed their entire careers with one team.
Yeah.
That's what Paolo Maldini. Look at Javier Zanetti with Inter, 19 years, right? He retired there. That kind of loyalty, unfortunately, is going away little by little by little.
Yeah.
By little.
The
romanticism in football. The romanticism in football is dead.
Yeah.
Okay, it's dead.
But you got to also look at it like, okay, look at Ronaldo when he first came to United. Look at the player. Look at the culture at United then, compared to the culture he came into now. It's completely night and day. You can't argue with that.
But it's still the club. But it's still the club. It's still the club that made him, that gave him what he has now.
But the ambition is completely different. This club doesn't want to. They're happy to be in top 4. That is not where United needs to be. United need to win trophy. We haven't won a trophy in 6 years, bro.
But you got a Ten Hag now. You got a different coach now who wants to win.
That is now. I'm talking about last season and the season before. We have been just a mediocre team.
But Tim, how do you feel about Ronaldo just wanting to move away from us, though?
I think the way he's gone about it is wrong. I think that's I've said that. I think that's the way he's doing about it. But like he was saying,
that's his attitude.
There was something that he said. He said, "There's not everything you hear in the press you got to believe." He's going to do an interview next week or the week after. I'm so eager to hear what he said because, and I get it. Ronaldo,
man, he's got a good PR team.
Ronaldo's big news anywhere. The way the press use him to sell papers and sell stories, I get it. And everything, he's the one causing problems there. He's the one. But the honest truth there, even Radic said it, you can't point the problems on one person. But the press will make you believe it's one person. So till you know what really goes on there, it's hard to keep pointing at this is the problem. It ain't the problem.
No, he's a part of the problem. He's a part of the problem.
Yeah, he could
I'm
be.
not saying he's a problem.
United problems go deeper than that.
Now we're talking the whole problem.
Yeah, so we know he's not the problem, and we know there's a lot of fake stuff out there. There's a lot of fake bots on Twitter posting all these random stories. And the thing is, with Ronaldo, he's clickbait. You hear Ronaldo, you click, because he's a story grabber. Man United is the biggest club in the world in terms of clickbait. We generate a lot of media interest, and Ronaldo happens to be at the top of that at the moment. But there is, what is questionable is his conduct. I've always found that.
I don't think the way he's going about it is good. I've said it from the beginning. I think it could have been handled better and differently. We knew United were not in Champions League by April. You already saw this club was not. They were not. The club literally down tools under Rangnick. They literally stopped playing for Rangnick. Only him and De Gea saved United from even going to finishing in 10th. Only those 2 players kept this team going. The rest couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. I don't know if they bothered. I mean, I know Bruno, he kind of imploded. Lots of other players imploded. It's like the whole club lost their direction. And yes, Ronaldo and De Gea did help us a lot towards the back of the end of that season.
And they got magnified.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, Rangnick is an intellectual. He's a football intellectual, but he's not a good coach. It was kind of evident.
But he walked into a mud pit too. He walked into a mud pit.
He should never accepted a job. No, I mean, he should
that was his mistake. But also tell you, how do you judge a tree? By its fruits. For Ronaldo went the wrong way. Well, that's what's in his heart. It's about him. But like I said, he should be motivated to help the team that put him on the map, regardless of who's there, because it's the same fans. The fans that cheered for him back 9 years ago, 10 years ago, are still there.
Oh yeah,
the same fans that cheered for him back then are still there. So that's enough motivation.
There is another view as well, another angle to look at this as well, is that we are now going through a quite critical rebuild stage. I know we've been doing a lot of rebuilds, but with a proper coach, Erik ten Hag, we're getting some decent players now. We are going through another phase of rebuild. But Ronaldo probably knows is that he's not going to be part of that rebuild because of his age. And so he feels, look, in my twilight years, I've got to go and do what I can to, cement my legacy. And so maybe that's the other thinking behind it, is that he knows he's not really part of this rebuild anymore.
No, he's not going to be, because he's literally got 1 year, give or take, a year and a half left at United. But you've got to also look at it from this perspective. We said, oh, we don't need Ronaldo. We need Anthony Martial. Martial can't even stay fit. See what I mean? So
Yeah.
Ronaldo leaves, Martial's not fit. Then who's... Because this force 9 doesn't really work for United.
No.
Force 9. They don't know how to do that.
I mean, we should have got a striker. I'm glad we didn't get Darwin Núñez in the end. Benjamin Sesko, I'm not entirely sure. Who?
I'm Mitrovic.
Mitrovic.
No, I'm Nutovic, the guy who used to play for West Ham and Stoke City.
Arnautovic. Forget
United
that.
were linked to him. That's how bad.
That was a bad move. To be honest, there's not that many good strikers around the world.
Rodrigo, you owe me a glass of wine. You said Arnautovic will give Martial a run for his money. That guy's a clown.
I never said that.
Yes.
I never said that.
You said
No, I said Ten Hag could probably do something with him. I said Ten Hag could probably do something with him compared to what they have now. Those players are not putting in there for the team because they.
But he's 33 years old.
Oh God, that guy was. Oh, even West Ham and Stoke said, "No, you're good."
I think we just need a young, tall striker. That's what we need.
Does he have to be tall?
2 foot. Yeah, he does.
You need a striker.
He needs to be 2-footed. He needs to be 6 foot at least, and he needs to be quite physical, because that's the Premier League.
You're looking for a Peter Crouch player.
No. Victor Osimhen fits the profile. Okay. If you look at the profile of Victor Osimhen, it fits him perfectly. He's 6'1". He's strong, and he's a ball winner. He can hold up the ball and he can score. And we need a 2-foot striker. So I think if we can get that, that's what we need, because the Premier League is tough, man. You have to come
physical.
up physical,
and it's long. It's a long season. So
yeah.
Remember, it's only just recently they started doing the Christmas breaks. But
exactly. You don't want to be some skinny dude like Peter Crouch that, once you get barred, you're going to be have broken bones. You need to have physical ability.
That's true.
That's what we need.
Bimo, let me check who's United's next game. I think we got a game on Thursday.
Leicester, isn't it?
Yeah, we play Leicester on Thursday.
And Chelsea, who do you have?
Oh God, who do we have?
So we got midweek games this
we
week.
We played, I think.
Games on Tuesday,
Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
I think we played Friday.
You play Friday?
Let me see.
You got to play midweek. Everyone's playing midweek.
Let me see.
So, Vimo, we got Leicester, you said?
We got Leicester on Thursday.
Away.
Chelsea play.
Leicester away.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys play Leicester City away.
On Thursday.
8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 p.m. kickoff. UK time.
Which is 2 p.m. US.
Does that mean you're going to be at work?
Chelsea plays Southampton away on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
It'd be interesting see how you handle Southampton, because their style of football has changed since last season.
Yeah, they're not a bad side, mate. They're
good.
If they had better finishers today, they would have scored today.
The thing is, they were doing a lot of gegenpressing last couple of seasons, and their coach Hassan Hutel said that gegenpressing is quite physically draining on all the players, because you have to run a lot more than everyone else. So he's adjusted his style, and I don't know if you saw the personnel in his team; they're all completely different. He's got a lot of young players in, a lot of physical, strong players, and his style has changed to possession-based football as opposed to gegenpress.
Yeah.
And he's got now the youngest team in the squad in the whole of the Premier League.
So, Vimo, after seeing today's game, who was your man of the match for Man United today?
Oh, it's Martinez, without a doubt. The passion of that guy, man, unbelievable. Right. And the way he was helping out his fellow defenders, Malaysia, Varane, even Dalot. He was just he's the kind of player that we've been missing for a long time. Real passion. Right. And he's got no loyalty, no devotion to our club, but he puts it out. He puts it all out there. Right. He throws his body on the line for us.
It doesn't buy you. I saw that a lot yesterday, today, and against Liverpool.
Yeah.
I mean, Southampton. I thought Southampton put us under more pressure than Liverpool. Don't you think? It
was a different type of game. Because they will hold back. they have a low block, and they'll find they
got balls
press
in the box,
on
man.
us. They press us when we have a certain trigger point. And apparently, in the analysis, every time Varane got the ball, that was their trigger point to come and press. So with a gegenpress, you always press.
Right.
With a mid press or a trigger press, you press when a certain event happens.
Right.
And in our game, it was when Varane had the ball. That was the trigger point when Southampton were told to press.
Right.
That's how they were playing against
On a
us.
scale of 1 to 10, what would you give United's performance today, mate?
I mean, it wasn't the best performance. It was a grinded out win. It was a quality goal from Fernandez. I would probably give it a 6.5
6.5.
because I didn't see that much fantastic football.
No,
but
we didn't really offer a lot going forward, especially in the second half.
No, I thought I think the front three were really bad. Really bad.
I thought I didn't know Radford played the whole game. I saw him like, this guy disappeared completely.
Yeah, the problem is that our 4 defenders, they work as a unit, and I was giving an example of them training together as a unit. Our front three didn't work as a unit. They seemed really separated, all spaced apart. Sancho, when he was going up the flanks, Rashford would just stand there in the middle. He wouldn't come and support him. You need an outlet, right? If you're running up with that ball and you've got 2-3 players around you, you need someone to pass the ball to. No one was coming to support Sancho. With Elanga, I noticed the same thing, is that he was just running into spaces. There was no one there to really support him. Elanga kept giving the ball away a lot. Rashford was completely isolated, and Sancho was isolated. So I think that front three needs to start to work together as a unit, like the defenders are. Right. So that's where I think Ten Hag is waiting for the improvement.
Right, Rodrigo. Who was the man of the match in your game today, mate?
Sterling.
Who?
Sterling. Sterling.
Sterling, okay. I think I always knew he was good. Sterling, I was rated as a very good footballer. He's a good footballer. He's that player who just runs direct at you. Of course, you need to concede free kicks. He's that kind of guy. You got 3 points today. What would you give your team's performance today, despite being with 10 men?
I'd give him maybe an 8, 7 or an 8.
7 or 8. Yeah,
because again, at the last, they were knocking at the door, man. And again, Mendy showed himself again. He saved the team again. So it wasn't, there's always a saying that markers can be deceiving. You got a brace, but it wasn't an easy brace. And, being down with 10 men, right. It's 2 games in a row that this happens. And you got the coach, out there also, he's suspended too. So,
Tuchel is suspended?
Yeah, for what happened with Conte.
What happened?
Oh, you didn't? Oh, the Chelsea-Tottenham game.
Chelsea-Tottenham game.
No, I didn't see it, no.
When they both got, at the end of the game, they both got an altercation.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it handbags or like proper fisticuffs?
No.
They just grab each other by the throat, like they're going to do something.
Did they grab each other by the throat?
Tuchel and so when they walked past each other, Conte put his hand to shake and walked away. This guy dragged his hand and said, "Look at me when I'm talking to you," and that's when all. Yeah.
Tuchel grabbed him and pulled him in, and you don't do that to Conte. You don't do that. You don't do that to any Italian.
Not gonna happen.
So Tuchel ignored Conte's handshake.
No, he grabbed him. He held him, and he pulled him back.
Wow.
So it's like I'm shaking and I'm walking away, and he pulled me what's the problem? Then, then Tuchel said, "Look at me."
Gotcha. So he wanted respect.
Yeah.
So you see, then he got the coach against Leeds because they were doing the paperwork something, but he had to pay that to this today, right? So again, he needs, like I said last podcast, Tim, he needs to get over himself and get on with finding out what problems Chelsea needs to sort out.
What's your estimation of Tuchel now? Do you think he's
a great coach? He's a great coach, but now's not the time for your ego to start doing this. Get on with what you got to do.
So get on with what you got to do. Spurs game at Chelsea it was a high temperature game. It was Spurs scored at the very last minute to get to 2-2.
And I told you it's going to be a 2-2 tie.
Yeah, he predicted that.
I remember that. Said
he wanted to do the pre-match before it, and there's a lot of confrontation on Tuchel. over celebrate on the line and doing all this. So it was the passion. So at the end of the game, Tuchel lost it.
Yeah, switch it off, get on with it. Yeah, but that just, it's what it is.
So he suspended it. Has he got 3-match touchline ban or something now?
I think just one. Just one.
Okay. So your team did well, got 3 points. Sterling man of the match. United got the second win of the season back to back. Well, looks like everybody's a winner.
Especially Arsenal. Especially Arsenal.
Arsenal 4-4. I don't even want to hear it, to be honest.
Hey, but it's good because it's going to keep the other teams. It's going to keep everybody else focused, man.
I'm just watching City slowly. City are like, okay, I'll give you a 2-0 head start. See what you could do with the 2-0 head start. It's
just the start of the season. It's not the end of the season. You start thinking about stuff like February, March, April. Then you see where you start seeing people run out of steam
and injuries and suspensions. And you see
and it's going to be interesting because this World Cup cuts right in the middle of the season. Let's see how many of these players come back from the World Cup if they come back injured or tired. Mentally tired also because, playing in the World Cup is also mental, to representing your country.
You can tell where's already the hot and
and you're representing your country. It's just, that's why after the World Cup, you got to rest a little bit so they can get back into, this whole thing's just a mess. It's just a mess.
Qatar should never have been given that whole World Cup to host, but it is where. Bimo, do you have any questions for Rodrigo?
Who was your buy of the season, and who was the player that you reluctantly let go? Do you think?
Rudiger. Rudiger went to Real Madrid. I've always liked Rudiger, but maybe it's again it's time for him to go to a new challenge, and respect him for it. Good luck to him. Great player, I think. We also Christensen went to Barcelona also. We left one player to Barcelona, one player. There's still talk about Marcos Alonso leaving. Because that's still in the works, and you have we lost Timo Werner, left back,
which is not such a bad thing. Not such a bad thing, is it? That's like a refund exchange, isn't it?
And you have Havertz. I like Havertz, but he's injured right now. He's a great player.
He's a great player. He's like Berbatov, isn't he? He's a little bit lazy, a little bit skillful.
He's not really lazy, but it is. It's consistency. The problem with a lot of players today is they're good, and this guy Sterling, he struggles with consistency also. Right. So does Rashford. So does Anthony Martial. Right. They score great goals, but they're not consistent. They'll disappear for 2-3 games. Right. And when you do need them, they're not there.
Right.
No, you want consistency.
You have questions for Vimon?
No. I think you explained pretty well about the game and what you can expect for the next game.
So you are playing Chelsea. You have Southampton away or home?
Yeah, away.
Ooh, Southampton. They're not. I mean, I'm eager to see how that you.
It's never easy to play in the Northeast like that. It's never easy to play in the North away. The crowds there are fantastic. Those are difficult places to play in the North. Southampton, Newcastle. Go to play places also like Leeds, where the crowds are ferocious. Right?
No.
Those are wonderful. Those are, as a spectator, is a wonderful place to go. But as a player, man, they get full support up there. So that's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good game.
Zimo, Leicester on Thursday.
Yeah.
How hopeful are you?
They're a team that seems to be. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be. I think they seem to be weakening their team. Selling Fofana. I think people are interested in buying James Maddison. They seem to be disbanding a little bit. They're not the same team as they used to be, but they still have a good coach. They still have a good style of football.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a very fast-paced game. I think it's going to be a lot tougher for us than Southampton. But I think they are weakening in defence. So if we can exploit that, I think we can get a win there.
Okay. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure today. despite us missing a lot of players who didn't show up today. But we're good. We had a great time. Man United got the second win. Chelsea got the win again. So everyone's a winner. It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Bimo, thanks very much.
Question for all, though. Question for all, yeah. And this is just for memories, right? You know, maybe we'll check the end of the season. Who do you estimate to be the Premier League winner end of the season?
Man City.
Yeah, me too. Man City as well.
Rodrigo.
Logically, we'll say Man City, but I'm not going to say guaranteed. If anything can happen. Don't be surprised. I look at Tottenham. I say, could these guys surprise everybody this year? I can't help but to think like that. It's just because right now, again,
could you imagine Spurs win the league title? That would be. I'll be happy for them, though. I'll be happy.
Yeah. Could you imagine Leicester City winning a few years back? No way. No. But just the beautiful thing about our football. Again, logically, you would say it would be between Man City and Liverpool. At the beginning, beginning of the season, everybody said Man City, Liverpool. Now Liverpool, again, they started, but you can't discount them. But again, I'm looking at Tottenham. Even Arsenal right now. Arsenal is saying, "Hey guys, watch out." So let's see.
Arsenal,
let's see.
I will be if Arsenal win the league title. I will be
shocked.
Because I got too many Arsenal friends.
You'll eat your hat.
Tell me about it. I'll be upset. That
So
if Arsenal
the
could win
thing-
the title, then we really are.
Yeah.
fucked up. I swear.
So I'd like to see a kind of like a Maverick season this season, like the Leicester City season. I don't want City or Liverpool to win it. I want someone else to win it. I want it to be a topsy-turvy. I want the Premier League to show.
So I'm saying I got my eye on Tottenham, man. They're Chelsea's traditional enemy, but as a football fan, I'm saying these guys could challenge. I'm not saying they will, but right now the way because the content of players they have, and they're going to be something to watch. But yeah, Man City's is got the advantage. I think they've got the advantage to win the league in a way.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. It's a long season.
And if Arsenal stayed top 2, top 3 come January, and they know they've got a chance, they might reinforce in January and then really go for it.
Yeah.
So that's the other option.
Can you imagine Arteta lifting the Premier League?
Yeah, it'd be like
laugh a bit.
Count Dracula.
I'll have to go hide myself.
I know, Count Dracula. I have won the trophy.
But that's how they won their first. That's how they won their first premiership. They shocked everybody.
Yeah. I get it.
They said, "Who's this guy? He coached in the Japanese league." Even Alex Ferguson said, "Who is this guy? Oh, he coached in the Japanese league. I'm not afraid of him."
Alex Ferguson had to eat his words.
And you know what? Yeah, they made the old man eat his words.
Yeah.
So
Alex
hey,
Ferguson had never heard of him before, and he just saw this guy because Alex Ferguson was the king of the castle, dominating. This guy comes, changes the football of Arsenal, plays better football, gets all the drunks out of the club, and Alex Ferguson like, oh, who are they?
Yeah, but he changed it. He was a changer. He game changer because what he did, he said he stopped drinking. He changed all of their diets.
Yeah,
he introduced a fitness regime,
Yep.
and he brought in a different type of data analytics into the football system.
And that was back in '97.
remember also Man City when Pellegrini came into Man City. That's what it changed again with Pellegrini, and then
What did Pellegrini do?
Man City.
What did Pellegrini do?
I think he won the FA Cup.
No, but what did he bring to the game? How did he change it up?
He was the beginning of Man City's change. It started with him, and then Man City came and won the league. Then they came Guardiola, but Man City, I mean, you saw the change was gradual. When everybody, those guys are going to do anything. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to do anything.
But the funny thing was, when City started to make all these changes, the only manager out of all those changes who didn't win a title was Mark Hughes. After Mark Hughes, they got Mancini. That's when they did the.
But with Pellegrini created a new base for Man City.
Yeah.
He won the FA Cup, I think. Then comes in Mancini, and he takes it from there, brings right players, and they won the league. No one expected him to win the league.
No.
Yeah.
No one expected.
Hughes,
but that's how it happens. That's how it happens. They come out of nowhere.
So Mark Hughes was in the job when the Sheikh Mansour organization took it over. So they didn't really want him as a manager. He was just there by default.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were just finding a way to get rid of him.
Money, he bought players. Then he got fired. They brought Mancini. Mancini won them the first title with Aguero. That last minute in. He won another. I think he won about another title. He got sacked. They brought Pellegrini. He won a title 1 or 2. He got sacked. They brought Pep, and the rest is history. So everyone they brought in.
And that was a common because remember when also with Mancini, he was struggling with Balotelli. He had to babysit that clown, and he still won the league.
That's true. That's very true.
And it was comedy because remember Balotelli gets that red card, and it goes nuts, and Alex Ferguson starts laughing, and then they win the league at the last minute with Aguero's goal.
Yeah. That was painful.
Where did that come? I mean, no one, and that was a great team because at the bottom, I think it was Wigan. Also, they saved themselves from relegation with one goal. Same thing.
QPR,
And they saved themselves from relegation, so it was like a double celebration.
Yeah.
And all the fans, they got onto the field to celebrate, salvation, and then Man City wins the league, so it was like a strange year, but it was kind of cool.
That Aguero one is still. I still see him, taking the shirt off.
Yeah, I'll never forget that because I was in Spain when that happened. I remember that.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'll be honest with you, I loved it. One, because it was good for football.
Yeah,
it was good for football, and to me, it was like, okay, Alex Ferguson, you're back in your place. I saw him as arrogant, and he need to get back in his place. And so watching him walk around going like this, I go, hey man.
But that season, I'd never think we deserved to win the title anyway. I think we just slipped up too many points. We didn't deserve it.
Too many points dropped.
But that's the way it happens.
The team, but City started to falter under the pressure, But it came down to that last day. We had won our game 1-0 at Sunderland, and we just needed City to draw or lose. But Queen's Park Rangers were fighting relegation. They went there and were leading Man City 2-1. Or 2-0? 2-0?
Yeah.
And City came back and Aguero scoring at the very last minute. That United's game was already finished, so they were just waiting for the results to come through.
And that's the thing. Both the championship game and the relegation game, both teams came from behind.
Yeah.
So that was like the best drama. I mean, I was like, wow, man, this is amazing.
As a United fan, it hurt. I'd rather lose the title before the last day of the season. That last day is too much. It's a lot to go.
But as a football fan, you say, wow. Yeah. Only in football, in our football does this happen like that.
Just like this last campaign when Aston Villa and City, Liverpool and Wolves were fighting for Super Sunday. Wolves, City were 2-0 down with 15 to go. City came back with 3 goals to win that league title. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that's drama, man. That's drama. That's like
United fans. We just wanted.
That's like 6 cups. That's like 6 cups of coffee, straight drama, right?
Right.
Gentlemen,
Vim, thank you for representing UK. I really appreciate your time. And Princess Sienna, tell her thank you very much. I appreciate her making a cameo appearances.
Yeah. She's got to sleep now, so time for rest.
Having a nap.
So it's bedtime, but time to watch Match of the Day. I don't know if you guys ever see that.
No, we have NBC. NBC do NBC shows Premiership.
It ain't like it used to. I don't like the new pundits, man. It ain't like it used to be.
So thank you very much, Bimo Rodrigo. Thank you very much. We'll
thank you guys,
and catch up with you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys very soon. Take care.
God bless you. God bless you guys.
Take care, guys.
Cheers.
Take care. Right. God bless.